up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, honey. We're down here. I was going to come down here and talk about New Jersey. New Jersey is so... Did you see at one point Andy was holding his heart? Girl, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. We are down here, honey. But I just figured we'd just talk about nothing. You know what I'm saying? See how we could sponsor the blogs today.
I sponsor the blogs. Let me tell you something.
I sponsor the blogs. I had a dream that somebody started putting "I sponsor the blogs" in their video titles. I was like, ugh. That's so funny because I'm like, don't nobody else say, now I sponsor the blog. So maybe we'll go, excuse me. Maybe we'll go to Starbucks, and then we'll go to the park. I'm cold. Okay, so what happened this morning? I'll tell you what happened this morning. Since this is a video about nothing, we ain't got nothing to talk about. So I'm doing my, get up. My son, he misses the bus. I told him only once a week he gets to use his mommy bus pass. If he misses the bus any other time, he's gonna have to figure out a way to get to school. I don't know, but that's it. So he's been really good. So today he leaves, and I had a feeling. I just looked at the time, like when he walked out the door, I looked at the time. I said, oh, he's probably gonna miss the bus. The bus was it like hits the corner and it stops like right after it hits the corner, and then it stops a little ways down. And it was already on the second bus stop. And usually they can run because it's really close. He'll run to it. But he says, and then he calls me on FaceTime. He's like, can I use my mommy bus pass? I was like, okay. So I ran out of the house. So I started getting my stuff together. I was almost done getting my stuff together because we kind of leave around the same time. So I was almost done. Come on, Afro. Yes. That little boy had a big afro in the front seat of that car. So he was like, can I use my mommy bus pass? And I was like, okay. Because I told him I am not a bus. I am not a bus. You have to learn responsibility. You know the whole thing. You know what we do. So then I forget my jacket. And he's standing at the door talking about, what are you doing? I said, excuse me. I wasn't planning on taking you to school today. Girl. So I forgot my jacket when I ran out. So I got the heater on Ghost Rider, and that's what we down here doing. So anyway, what are we talking about, bruh? I haven't been online this morning at all, just on the YouTube. I watched watch out, lady. I watched what is it called? Jersey. I watched New Jersey. I think Andy is like done. And even when Melissa was like, I'm gonna do a review, but this is on my mind now. When Melissa was like, am I the only one with common sense in here? Do you see how crazy, like literally that's what that side of the couch is? But Dolores doesn't seem to be interested or entertained. She seems like kind of disconnected from Teresa and Jennifer. But I guess Jennifer is not, they're not cool, right? Her and Jennifer are not cool right now. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. Okay. All right. So, I have to put it back on. So, it was just like too much. Teresa's weird. You see how Teresa always deflects to, well, Margaret brought it up. Well, Margaret, shut up, Teresa. Shut up. And then do you see how weird she is when she was like, I wasn't saying that, but you are a bitch boy, but I didn't say. What do you mean? Did you say it or not? Like, you cannot do that. Even Andy was like, you need to acknowledge, bitch, I almost hit a chicken. I did not want to kill a chicken today. Please don't. And another car was coming over here. I had to get the scene together. Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna hit the chicken or am I gonna hit the car? I would have had to hit the chicken. I'm not about to hit nobody else's car. Because I was about to, like, swerve over. Oh, I can't even imagine. That would have been awful. That would have been so awful this morning if I had killed the chicken. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of comments. I don't know if the people, if the what do we call? Can we call? Because if we start calling them by a name, what do we call them? The kittens. The kittens. I've seen a few kittens purring in my comments. There we go. I've seen them purring in my comments, trying to rationalize the death of their leader. Not too many have been disrespectful. As not too many have been disrespectful, because I don't think that you could argue with anything that I've said. And the only thing that you could argue is, like, some woman was in the comments talking about, I cannot believe. I'm gonna read you some of the comments that people were saying. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna read a few comments, and then we're gonna sponsor the blogs, because I'm so tired of people trying to frame it as though this man was just sharing his opinion. Not only was he sharing his opinion, he was giving advice. And when someone is giving someone advice, that means that they are telling them to put something into action. So it's not just him and his truth and his harsh truth. It's not just that. And shout out to Virginia Slim, Vivica A. Fox herself, Schlitz Malt Liquor, windbreaker wearing ass diva. She got down there and she said, honey, it's karma coming knocking at your door. You know, a lot of people, most people talk about karma in that way. We already know on this channel how we speak about karma, and karma doesn't come in the form of death. And you can't say what someone's karma is. You have no authority over what someone's karma is. So if someone dies, you hollering that's their karma is not accurate. It's not true. That's just you trying to say you got what you deserve. What goes around comes around. But karma doesn't work like that. But anyway, I told somebody karma was his heart exploding in his chest, and somebody being there not being able to save him. That's what I would say. But again, same rule applies to me. I don't get to say what his karma is. That's his karma. We can only say what you put out. The vibration you put out is what you get back. It'll like boomerang and come back to you, the frequency. And so you can't really say it's his karma, but that's what Vivica A. Fox said. It's the karma. It's what goes around comes around. And everybody is shocked by Marlon Wayans, but don't be shocked, because this is the way that men feel in relationships. And that's why he was so uplifted, because men, and I don't know if women don't want to hear it, but to be honest, when you looked at that man's and you're like, why do you watch him? Why does anybody watch anybody? Not because they like them, not because some people watch people because they want to observe their behavior. And the people who are supporting them see how they support and see who those people are. The few times that I watched a live and I watched as a woman stood on stage to be humiliated, and I watched the men in the comments be so vile and so vicious and just completely, almost as though the woman was standing on the block and they were roasting her and letting her and yelling at her, just simply because she had some standards, simply because this is how she wanted, this is what her expectations were in a relationship. They were so angry. And the harsh truth is, and maybe that was going to be his next chapter, these men don't really like y'all. That's the key. The men that follow him do not like women. They don't. They want to have access to women. They want to be able to use your body, and they want to be able to use you to labor for them. But they don't like y'all. They don't. They desire to have sex with you, but they don't like women. And I think that's the harsh truth. And in a roundabout way, that is to me what his purpose was to show you that these men who have these weird ideas about relationships, they don't really see you in the relationship because they don't like you. That's why it's easy for them to come. Like when you think about a leader of a movement or a thought process, when that leader dies, you can tell by his or her followers what the response is. When people die, you hear the good things. When Anthony Bourdain died, I'm gonna use Anthony Bourdain. You heard all the people. Anthony Bourdain was probably not the nicest person to other people, but the sound of those people were drowned out by the love that he was getting when he died. It was so much love. When this man died, you didn't hear no love. That's how you know what he stood for. There was no love. No love. The men who loved him because he humiliated women. They loved it. They loved seeing women up there being humiliated. They loved seeing him humiliate women. They loved it. They took so much joy in it. And then they took his opinion, like somebody was saying, it's just his opinion. It's just his opinion. Hold on, I'm going to read you some of these comments. Let me go to the video so I can go exactly. That was 4 days ago. That's just his opinion. That's just his opinion. That's just his opinion. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Here, I'm going to read you some of these comments. I'm going to read you the comments that I reply to. Girl. Right. Okay, hold on. Let me find the comments that I responded to, because I thought it was weird that everybody was saying, how could you demean a man for, oh, here it goes. This is what we have to do. Let me do, that I've responded to. Okay, let me filter it. Comparing a man's opinion to a terrorist, you are the last person to voice their rationale on anybody. Be reasonable in your critique. I'm sure they tried to say Darnell. Then you may have a point. Hilarious. I said, Bin Laden had an opinion. Castro had an opinion. Charles Manson had an opinion. Trump had an opinion. Timothy McVeigh, oh, he had an opinion too. Saddam Hussein, he had an opinion. The KKK has an opinion about you specifically. All of these people's opinions cause chaos and destruction. When your subgroup is being investigated by Homeland Security and the FBI, it is safe to say that Kevin Samuels was a leader of a domestic terrorist organization. Argue with your dead leader. This man said, my leader, you're hilarious. You just assume I'm a follower. Clearly, young lady, you can't discern my objection to your statement. I'm calling a man a terrorist because his words were vibrating through a community that was terrorizing women. When you see these men and they are subscribed to him, and then they have videos talking about how great he is, and they also have videos talking shit about women, what do you think? How do you think? I'm telling you, if a man and a woman are listening and following the teachings, that's what I've gotten in my comments, to the teachings of Kevin Samuels, they don't like women. And you heard what I said. Men and women who follow Kevin Samuels do not like women. Martell was up there defending Kevin Samuels, calling people over 35 when his ass is over 35. Single, divorced, with 5 kids. And really, when you look at the men who are standing up for him and stay far away from them. Look at the women who are standing up for him and stay far away from them. They don't like women. They don't like women. Okay, let me read another comment. Girl, anyways, I just threw tomatoes at that person. Okay, hold on. Let me see some more comments. Oh, here we go. This was the funniest shit that I heard. Erica De Niro, do you realize that even in the mob, now you're comparing this man to the mafia. So now you understand, you're using an analogy and you're going to use the mob as an analogy to listen to this. To show me how honorable fucking thieves are. Okay? Hold on. Okay. Erica De Niro, do you realize that even in the mob, when two rival factions are at war over turf, etc., that if someone from the rival side's mother, father, brother, sister, etc., were to pass away, that the rival mob member who virtually hates and is at war with the other side, they will attend a funeral, pay their respects, give condolences, and give money to help out the family. And these are cold-blooded, stone-cold killers doing this. But here you are, Erica De Niro, spitting on the grave of a man who's never even been so much as arrested. You look and seem worse than a stone-cold killer I just described. This really is and looks bad. Maybe in the quiet moment of reflection, you'll think twice and maybe apologize, because the universe must just decide to humble you. You should take heed, love. I said,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Boo, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. I almost told you to choke on my cock, but I'm self-reflecting. The fuck? Fuck out of here. It's crazy. How many women here actually watch a whole KS show from start to end? You judge off a clip or a soundbite. I initially wrote him off myself until I finally gave him a chance and learned his message. Most women judging him have only seen clips or read articles by people who have only seen clips. You have zero idea what his teachings are. Not his teachings, honey. Yes, it's easier to say we're a bunch of triggered KS apologists, but the way you don't have an actual conversation about what black men are saying, it's all good though. I don't do much of exchanging with black men in the comments unless you come correct. Otherwise, by the time our conversation is over, I'm going to ask you to place your lips around my and suck the skin off of it. That's all I have to say. Let's get on the blogs, honey.
I sponsor the blog. Let me tell you something.
But Diva, he got on the fellas too. He was rude. That was the problem. No. I said he wasn't just giving them a healthier way to relate to women. He positioned men and women as opponents. These bums thought they were high-value men. They are not. He humiliated women consistently and allowed the men in the chats to ridicule and throw tomatoes at every woman who came on his platform. He was not balanced or fair. He wasn't rude. He was vicious and destructive in his feedback. Nothing uplifting. He was an agent of chaos and confusion and wasn't using his gifts for good. He's lucky he was taken out the way he was and not only had a stroke and his quality of life be compromised. He's lucky he was taken out of here, because some people, she could have saved him, and then he could have had his voice taken away from him, the gift that he is using to cause so much destruction and pain. And it's weird when people say he was helpful. Those are the people you have to watch out for. When a person who is delivering out of their mouth chaos, confusion, destruction, and people say he was helpful. Marlon Wayans, Martell Holt, these men, Ebro, these men who want you to be nice and polite at the death of a terrorist. You'll never get respect from me. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Kevin gave solid advice. I think his delivery was a problem. He didn't say anything that any of our mentors wouldn't have told us. But he did not deliver his advice in the way he did. We wouldn't know his name. So it's like you got to take the good with the bad. I said Hitler gave some solid advice too. What is your point by saying this man had an opinion? His opinion was dangerous. His opinion influenced people and moved people into action. His presence, his opinion has destroyed relationships. Women in the comments telling me they've broken up with their boyfriends when they found out that they followed this man. I had a woman in the comments saying that her daughter broke up with a guy or stopped talking to the guy they were dating when he started talking Kevin Samuel shit. Be thankful. Have these niggas. That's one thing as a woman, if you're in the dating market, ask. That's the first question you ask. Don't ask a nigga if you want to get married. Don't ask him if you have any kids. Don't even ask him if you got a college degree. Ask him, do you listen to Kevin Samuels? Have you listened to Kevin Samuels? How did you feel when Kevin Samuels died? And listen to what he says and then make your decision based on that. Be lucky. If you meet a man who has never heard of him, baby, you can talk to him. He probably ain't shit, but you can still talk to him for a little while. When people say they haven't heard of him, I'll be like, thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Because he caused the minds, he only, like, for real, he reinforced misogyny. He just reinforced the hatred of women amongst men and women who are identified as men, who see men as through their eyes. They look at the world like a man. They look at the world like a man. They center men in their universe. Those women are the types of women who are calling his show. You don't get advice from a man who hates women. His advice will never serve you. Ever. Never. No matter how nice it sounds, it will never serve you. He's setting you up for failure. He's setting you up to be in a relationship. Telling people that it's okay to hit women and you got a safe word. Girl, that's solid advice. Okay. He said, seeing you women. Whenever you hear somebody say us men or you women or us women, it's weird. Those kind of people just freak me out. Seeing you women, I will be sure to tell my son that he should not look for a relationship with a black woman. A real relationship with this is William Middleton. Seeing you women, I will be sure to tell my son that he should not look for a real relationship with a black woman. I said, believe me, little black girls are being reprogrammed and will not only view black men as their only options. Make sure your son has a table. Damn it. These motherfuckers get on my nerves. Actually, Charles Manson didn't do shit. Charles Manson has never killed anybody. You know that, right? Y'all know that Charles Manson never killed anybody, but his words that he spoke was able to influence people to kill people. You know that, right? So when you say Kevin Samuels just had opinions, like this man said, Play of Fly Joe 27 says, y'all hating and celebrating the death of someone who merely had an opinion does not change your existing circumstances. You're not going to get the man y'all think you deserve. Let that marinate. I said Hitler and Charles Manson had opinions. He said, but they also did bad things to people. Kevin did it. Actually, Charles Manson hasn't killed anyone. So, he probably murdered. I'm sure Hitler murdered somebody, personally, murdered somebody. I'm sure he did. But Charles Manson didn't. And he's sitting in jail. How long is Charles Manson going to be in jail for just having an opinion and using his words to influence people to kill people? Oh, Charles Manson died in 2017. I forgot. But he was in jail. What was he? His sentence was life in prison from 1972 until he died. Hold on, let me look at his thing. 9 counts of murder, 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder. His motive, white supremacy, desire to start ethnic conflict, belief in white genocide, conspiracy theory. What was Kevin Samuels' motive? And what did he influence people to do? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You got to think of a person's influence. It's just not their opinion, but what is he moving people in action to do? And it wasn't positive. When he died, you didn't hear a roar of love. You actually heard the people who follow him terrorizing and acting terrorism digitally through digital spaces, trying to defend him because the rejoice and the bells were so loud that you really saw not the people who loved him, they're drowned out because it wasn't enough. And the people who love him, you got to watch out. You got to watch out. You got to watch out for those people. I'm telling you. Okay, let's see what we got in the blogs, girl. Yeah, I can be real vulgar. I can be really, really vulgar. I really can. And I think it's, it's warranted in a lot of the times. It's warranted. They deserve every word. Yeah, they do. So, father arrested after fatally stabbing his 22-year-old daughter while in a fight with her boyfriend. I just don't understand when black women get around black men. How did she end up dead? 51-year-old Lawrence Randall Green of Florida has been charged with the manslaughter of fatally stabbing his 22-year-old daughter while in a fight with her boyfriend. The stabbing occurred when Lawrence's daughter attempted to break up the fight between her boyfriend and father. I'm telling you, you better stay. When men fight, women, that's a thing. You wanted to step in front of what? To stop a fight between who? No, lady, you don't do that. See, she wasn't taught. She was taught to stand in front of the man. So she basically sat, girl. Authorities didn't reveal how the encounter began. However, they noted that sadly, the young woman died from her injury. The father always posted about his daughter on Facebook, as he said in a post back in February that they had an incredible relationship. The identity of her boyfriend has yet to be revealed, and it is unclear if he was injured in the physical dispute. I just don't understand how black women get in proximity to black men and they die. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Are you here for this? This is from Hollywood Unlocked. Diddy launches new R&B label, Love Records, with Motown. If you sign a contract with Sean Puffy, Dr. Love, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy Combs, you are a fool. You are a fool if you sign with Puff Daddy. You're a fool, and anything that happens to you, you have walked directly into it. No, there will be no 5 years from now, I signed a contract with Puffy and I'm not getting any money. There is a Yelp review on Bad Boy Records, and the artists have left thousands of reviews and told you how this man treated them. There's no way, and he has the audacity to even come out with a label. If you sign with Puffy, you're a fool. You are. You're a fool. You are a damn fool. Okay, so we talked about Bobby Brown a little bit. Let's say, this is from Jasmine Brown. Bobby Brown reveals, he was emmed by a priest as a kid, recalls being intimate with Madonna years ago. Who wasn't Madonna intimate with, honey? Dating Janet Jackson. She couldn't be with a man like myself. No. I didn't understand how she was with Jermaine Dupri. She looks so pretty. This picture of Janet Jackson. Come through, bitch. Janet Jackson said, let me tell you something. I'll fool with you. Well, was she pregnant? Let me shut up. Bobby Brown is revealing a few heart-wrenching details about his upbringing. The 53-year-old singer is the subject of an upcoming A&E biography that airs later this month. He admits that as a child, a priest tried to M-O-L-E-S-T him. He explains, When my mother was arrested, I was sent to temporary custody by social services, which was supposed to be a religious place. This was not a place to be as a child. One of the priests tried to molest me. However, added he, the priest, tried to touch my private parts. There was no penetration or anything. He touched my privates and I didn't like it. I punched and kicked and punched some more until he got away from me. So I ran away from there as quickly as possible. At the time, I was a young boy. I didn't know what sexual boundaries were. I just knew I didn't like being touched. Some things are hard to forget. In the documentary, he also talks about some romantic relationships he had after being a megastar with New Edition. He seemingly claims to have been intimate with Madonna years ago. Did I sleep with Madonna? We didn't do any sleeping. That just happened. I didn't even know how it happened. I don't believe she knows how it happened, he adds. She probably knows how it happened, but we didn't do no sleeping, Bobby Brown continues, noting another famous singer he dated. And then there was Janet Jackson. I had a big crush on Janet. What was it about Janet? Everything. Her smile, body, her dance moves, her little laugh. We loved each other's company. We didn't have a long relationship. But the reason me and Janet broke off was because she couldn't be with a man like myself. I'm from the projects. I'm hood. Her father wouldn't allow her to be with someone like me. Janet was the crush of my life. Jermaine Dupri let her get away too. Y'all stupid. And then the thing is, like on the New Jersey Housewives, when they were like, oh, is cheating, is infidelity a reason to break up a marriage? And Jackie was like, yeah. Teresa was like, yeah. But everybody else was like, eh. You're socialized that way. You're socialized that way. Bobby Brown, I'm sure he has a bunch of stories. And I just, whenever I see Bobby Brown, I think about like all the death around him. His son, his daughter, Whitney. I don't have anything. I was going to go to Starbucks, huh? Whitney. It's just a lot. It's just a lot for him. So I'm glad he's getting to tell his story, because that might be, a good release for him. So shout out to Bobby Brown. Glad he's doing okay. Madonna, she been with who? Madonna, they said Madonna, Madonna was getting her groove on. She didn't care. Shout out to Madonna. Shout out to Madge over there with her cakes showing, her little flapjacks showing on IG. Girl, they said Brian McKnight forgot about his other kids. He posted on his Instagram. His page says Brian McKnight, musician, husband of Leilani, father of Julia, Jack, and Kikoa. But he has a Brian McKnight Jr., a Nico McKnight, and a Clyde McKnight. Who's Clyde McKnight? R&B singer Brian McKnight's children speak out against father after years of abandonment. So he has 3 other children, and then he went and got with this woman and has 3 other kids and does not claim his black children. That's what I'm saying. It's just people, the way, like, honestly, I just think that the people, the way they just navigate relationships for me is just whack. It's just whack to me. I think that what women are socialized to put up with is whack. I think the way that men are allowed to misbehave and their misbehavior is excused by being a man. I hate it. I hate everything about it. I hate to see women stay in relationships that don't serve them, only just to be in a relationship to say they have a man because they have lived a life where they're told that their value is determined based on their proximity to a penis. I despise that. I loathe it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate to see male identified women. I used to be male identified, so when I see it, it bothers me. And that's the one thing I say is, like, you have to allow people to grow out of shit. You have to let people grow out of shit. But I don't like the way that men and women are taught to relate to each other when it comes to relationships. I don't like how men only see women as labor and sex. I don't like it. Or an assistant. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like to hear stories about women wanting all of these things and understanding that the men, yeah, they might be out there, but how are the men? They might have all of these things that check off: college education, 6-figure income, high 6-figure income, has their own house, What else? Has his own car, has a great portfolio, right? Invest, right? He's set up for retirement. But this motherfucker has a personality disorder. He lives in a society that has told him that he is the prize. And so it's difficult to get along with him because his personality is fucked up. That's the thing that I think everybody keeps missing. You want these men to have all of these things, but what about their personalities? What about their personalities? How well do they treat other people? How kind are they? How well do they treat people who serve them? Like servers at restaurants. Are they bad tippers? What about their character? I just don't like the way that men and women are, especially in society. Just like, especially, it's the same way all the way around. But for black women especially, you are the prize, no matter what. He is not the prize. Getting him and then saying, well, I got a man, you ain't got a man. I know that the majority of my supporters and channel subscribers have grown out of that, right? Throwing a dick in someone's face. You've grown out of that. But these men ain't shit. Look at Brian McKnight. He went and he doesn't even claim his kids. What did they do to you? Tell you that you're fucked up? Tell you they don't like the way that you handled them as children? And so now they talking back to you and you don't tolerate no back talk from no children? You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of dumb shit. But you over here, and how do those children feel? That's what I'm saying. That man's character, fuck Brian McKnight. Your character is in the trash. You don't acknowledge your children to the point where on your IG you have father of and only 3 children's names there. How disgusting are you? How disgusting are you? Disgusting. How do you think his sons, his junior, that's why you don't name these kids after these men. I'm trying to tell you. Now your namesake, you have a Brian McKnight Jr. and you don't even have his name on your damn IG page. Fuck Brian McKnight. How do you think if I was Brian McKnight Jr., I would change my name. I don't want the name of a man with that low of a character. Girl. The only people who deserve last name juniors and Elon Musk, Bezos, if there's a legacy to be had, like them Kardashian kids, every one of their last name would be Kardashian. Wouldn't be no Thompsons, wouldn't be no Disick's. Everybody's last name would be Kardashian over there. You giving these people names, last names, no character whatsoever. None whatsoever. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. Is this getting hot? I hope it's not getting hot. I think it's getting hot, y'all. So let me go. Oh, it's almost time for me to go. Don't sign with Puffy. Don't jump into fights when men are fighting. Ladies, please. If 2 men are fighting, stay far away. Especially, I don't give a damn if it's your brother, if it's your father, if it's your uncle, if I don't care. Women, when men are fighting, stay away. If they kill each other, they ain't killed you. You still here. You break up a fight between your father and your boyfriend and you end up dead, girl. That's fucked up. BLM co-founder Patrice Cullors admits using $6 million property to host parties in son's party. It's really fucked up that they was taking money, but you know how the game goes. You already know how the game goes. Once they see that money start flowing in, people change. Money changes people. It changes. Money taps on your character. It tap dances on your character. How you gonna move now that you got a little bit of money? What you gonna do with the little money? I do find it ironic that the Black Lives Matter organization was created to, combat police brutality. And then this idea that police brutality has happened, so it's just like the worst thing that can happen to the Black community, when there's other things in the Black community that need to be focused on besides police brutality. And that is Black on Black crime, because the men are killing everybody. They're killing each other. They're killing women. They're killing children. So that is something that's probably worser than police brutality. But you have this organization that was created to combat police brutality, usually focused on black men. But then at the same time, you have black men unaliving and deleting women every 5.5 hours. I just think it's ironic that she took the money that was given to support this idea and was self-serving with it. Her son, right? My son. I think it's a trip. I think it's a trip. Accumulated, the BLM, it says the BLM organization accumulated over $90 million and reportedly over $60 million in cash. When asked why she decided to splurge on the pricey property, she clarified, we looked at commercial buildings and we looked at homes, and then we found one that was a really amazing spot. Yeah, because they kind of, I think the thing is they use it as like a headquarters or something, which is actually pretty smart, because what you put in the house is going to be a write-off because the house is being used for a nonprofit. I mean, the nonprofit game is a fucking, I mean, it's a scam anyways. Like everything in the United States, really, like from the foundation all the way up, is a scam. Everything, every structure in the United States is a scam. Everything. I'm trying to tell you, the minute you get a social security number, it's a scam. I'm trying to tell y'all. Marriage, scam. If you're not going for not trying to be a lawyer, a doctor, something that requires education outside of your undergraduate, because that shit is a scam. I know it's a scam when I look at the student loan debt. I know it's a scam. I know it's a scam that you have to pay for education in order to compete in this country. That's a scam. I feel like to me, I feel like education should be free. 4 years should be free in this country. And then if you go on to get another degree, then that's when you start to put in money, because you want to go to you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, whatever you're going for, you want to be a psychologist, whatever you're going for, and you got to do extra schooling after your 4 years, then you got to pay for it, right? But before that, people shouldn't have to pay for college. That's a scam. And then tell people to pay it back. And then those people who have to pay it back, they can't really go and get a job within their degree. So they get some other job that they're not happy with. Now you got them people in the workforce, working, industrialized, just working. That's not life, honey. It's all of this shit. And then, what did it say? After securing the property in 2020, she said she held a party to celebrate Joe Biden's and Kamala's inauguration. Then she decided to throw her son a birthday party at the house. She says a decision, wasn't probably the best idea because she used it for personal use. So you shouldn't have done that. So she's being scrutinized and criticized. Anybody else taking money from a nonprofit organization? The Red Cross, we talk about them all the time. The American Red Cross, they don't, where does anybody, don't donate to them. People tell you don't donate to the Red Cross because the people never see the money. It's a scam. It's a scam. But to me, I feel it's ironic that people were giving so much to combat police brutality when our vision is like police brutality in black men. Yes, we know what happens to black women, but it's the energy was like, okay, black men, and we know how women are. You saw who was on the front lines. So we giving all the money. And then foolishly, that's another story. Giving them all the money and then they using the money for other stuff. These black lesbians, they're using the money for other stuff. That's crazy. What else is happening? It says Dave Chappelle's security company that failed to stop the attacker was the same company that worked at Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival. What? Girl, why would y'all hire them? That's crazy. Yeah, I never did talk about that Dave Chappelle incident. I mean, shit happens. They said they beat the man up. His arm was twisted the other way. And that was it. And then I don't know why 50 Cent was like, we need the LGBTQ community to come out and say so. Girl, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, did y'all see that Monique was going to be 50 Cent posted something? She's going to be somebody on that show. She had a wig on, a gray and black wig on. And that was it. So that's it, y'all. I'm done talking. Take care of each other. It says Dave Chappelle. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Okay, anyways, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.